Welcome to Rock Valley, Iowa and the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Series. Let's get it started. This is Paul Tyus, our first puller. Paul has two trucks here today, so Dave, here we go.
Going with a 36 model Chevrolet. Motor is up in the air. Tires are spinning, dirt are flying. We got a show. We're going down the line. Now, he's first puller of the class. Is he going to like that pull? Is he not? We don't know yet. Well, he gets a distance of 300.05. He's got to make a decision before he leaves the track. We're running and gunning.
In the heart of the Midwest, there's a band of modern-day marauders. Mounted atop their beasts, they line up to throw down. They are outlaws.
Welcome to Thunder in the Valley from Rock Valley, Iowa. I'm Claude Wood along with Dave Bennett and Rick Carlson. We have two exciting classes for you today, the Pro Stock 4x4s and the Unlimited Super Stocks.
All right, Paul Tice made his decision. He turned down 300.05. This class has started. We're rolling, running, and gunning, and bipolar. The man out of Green City, Missouri. Now, Claude, this guy don't run with Outlaws full-time. He comes to the big show at Rock Valley. We're going to see how he shapes up.
Yeah, a lot of times Keith pulls with the Pro Pulling League. Nice-looking older Chevy here.
It is for a fact. Boy, that motor is really up there screaming. You got to love that big sound of the carbureted motors. He goes 314 and 52.
Well, that's the mark to beat as we go on board. Let's see what kind of a ride Keith had.
Oh, yeah, you can tell very much the way this camera's bouncing around, even tilting a little bit. They don't have no suspension underneath the trucks. Let's go down to Rick Carlson and see what this guy says about his pull.
Keith, a 314, not a bad start.
No, it's probably pretty good for right now.
Now, I keep hearing the track's going to get better and better. What do we mean when we hear that?
Oh, they'll start building the road and kind of packing it down and then just kind of get a little more traction, sled rolls a little easier, and see how it goes.
Coming up next is Marty Selman, part of a husband and wife team. These guys say they are really in it for the points chase this season.
Oh, they are devoted to the points chase. They want to be on top of the world, and they are one of our top trucks for a fact. Marty doing the driving today. Love the sound of that motor. Heard it pull down just a little quick, and we ran it down where the flag was at. That's going to hurt him a little bit. 299 and 31.
Well, he calls this truck Rat Trap, and I tell you, this truck is anything but a trap. Right here, he's got a good pull right in the center of the track.
He is center of the track. Motor's doing his thing. But listen, well, when the sled caught him, that motor wasn't ready for it.
Our next puller coming up is Tammy Morris. Now, she's been out of pulling for a while. Earlier today, Rick Carlson caught up with her.
Dazed and confused. That's the truck name, but not Tammy. You're finally out this year.
Yes, finally. I've been out for 2 years. The first year I broke, and then we put the new motor on the dyno, and it exploded. So we had to go back, redo the heads, different block. It's brand new from bottom up. I like this class because a person in the crowd can look at it and say, you know, that looks like my truck, and they can identify with this class.
What do you want here?
I want first place.
Well, this motor still may be a little bit suspect. This is only the second pull with it.
Yeah, they set the rings with it last weekend in Texas. Well, those rings are set. Man, that motor is talking. The tires are spinning. She's got to be grinning all the way down to 304 and 83. Moves her into second place. She is going to be happy.
This is Andrew Bushyost. He is last year's points champion. His truck is called Wicked Sensation.
Probably one of the best tire speed trucks on the circuit. He lets those tires work for him. That motor's always singing. The man is an electrical lineman, but trades what he does. Defending his championship, he wanted to go into number one. He goes number two. He knocked Tammy down, and he goes number two at 305 and 55.
Right off of the launch, Dave, this is pretty much a hammer down, isn't it?
Pretty much. Now, you don't really sidestep the clutch on this class because you will blow the tires away and they'll lose traction. But Andrew Bushjo really good at sliding that clutch, and he proves it right there as he moved into number two.
And here comes the Show Me Chevy, driven by Philip Chrysler. Philip runs a salvage yard.
Yeah, it's well used by a lot of people, especially him. Now, you heard a little different takeoff right there on that run. You heard how he slid the clutch a lot farther. Let it slide on out there, and then he come to his motor. And I think that hurt him on the other end just a little bit. He gets a distance of 3:03 and 24.
As we take a look at the leaderboard, it's the outsider, Keith Hammonds, challenging the insiders, which are the Outlaws. First puller, Paul Tyus, turned down 300.05 feet. Was that a good decision? We'll find out when we come back.
The Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Series is being brought to you by VP Racing, Macon Power, Extreme Performance and Tire Cutting, a cut above the rest, Evapo-Rust, super safe rust remover, and by the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association, Thunder in the Dirt.
Everybody loves to see the Outlaws come to Rock Valley, Iowa. Over 170 pullers on hand today, enjoyed by a huge crowd. Now, to pull again, this is Paul Tyus, and this is his second pull.
Well, he's been watching the other guys. That's one of the advantages. If you're first puller and you don't like your pull, you can turn it down and watch somebody else. Coming from the center of the track, the truck kind of slid a little bit sideways just a bit. But he moved over to the right, burning in right there. Did he do better? Did he do worse? Hey, that number 2 spot's getting hammered hard. He goes number 2 at 3:07.63.
And that'll bring up Jordan Compton, driving Ford Tough. Jordan has only been pulling about 3 years.
Little 20-year-old, just a great, great driver. Man, plumb over on that left sideline. I don't know if we've seen anybody that far over there or not. I like the motor sound. You see that front end digging in. Come up just a hair short. She goes 292.85. The little lady in the point chase would like to have done better.
Well, you brought up a good point there, Dave. Everyone so far has spotted the sled right in the center of the track.
Well, you cannot discredit that motor sound. You cannot discredit the tire spinning. Rick Carlson's going to find out what she thinks.
Jordan, all the way over to the left. Why?
No one was getting a hold of the track in the center, so we just decided to do something else. It's either a hero or zero. You never know.
A little bit of a chance there, but you love the attitude of willing to take that chance. This is Zach Green out of Log Lane Village, Colorado.
Well, we got the champion puller from the state of Texas. Now we got the champion puller from the state of Colorado, Zach Green. Bulletproof reloaded. Boy, did you hear that motor come upstairs. Put it in the center of the track and really hammered, but he only goes number 6 right now at 300.82.
One of the local guys pulling now, this is Brett Stamps. Brett is out of New Market, Iowa. Troublemaker, he calls his truck.
Well, the boys from Iowa have come to play with the Outlaws. First year that they've decided to run the points, the rules have come together, and these boys from Iowa are here to play serious. We're liking the center of the track. That road is being built in the center of the track. You heard a puller earlier say about the road. They're working the center. This guy's not going to do all that well at 299 and 52.
Well, we told you Iowa was well represented today. A look inside the office there of Randy Johnson. He's from Winterset. He has been pulling for 16 seasons.
And the Iowa boys, like I said, on the earlier truck, this is another one of the runner and gunners. Living in that same area. You want to talk about a same area? He pulled 0.05 of a foot farther than the troublemaker. He goes 299 and 57.
Well, let's move over a few states. Here is Danny Brockhouse out of Holden, Missouri. Danny is a heavy equipment operator.
Holding strong forward. This is one of the hard hitters out of the state of Missouri. You don't have to worry where he's going to be at. He's always bouncing around up in the top numbers. See that front end bouncing just a little bit. Pretty nice little pull. He goes 300.36.
Last puller in the class, this is Paul Tyus. We saw him pull earlier. This is his second truck, Hammer Time.
The man likes the hammers, whether it be the sledgehammer or the Hammer Time. The 2015 points champion for the Texas Truck and Tractor Pulling Association, milked it out just like the Show Me Chevy did. But when he asked that motor for power, them tires got a hold, and you can tell he's farther down the track, but how much farther? Last puller in the class is going to win at 3:15 and 53.
Positioning on the track is everything, and tell you, experience doesn't hurt any either.
Well, you can tell by the shot right here where he's going where that Packer went and where the other trucks went. This guy's no dummy. He knows what to do. Number one pull, and a Texas man very appreciative.
Well, a couple extra tips down the track, they seem to pay off.
Yes, sir. The first time, we was geared too high. The track's getting better and better as the night goes on. They've done a great job here. I'd like to thank my wife, my family, and all my friends that helped me, men and women in the military that give us a place to come play. Wow, what a great place, man. This is so awesome here.
Checking out final results, Paul Tyus, 2 out of the top 5 spots. In 4th place, Andrew Bush-Yost, your 2015 points champion. We'll change classes when we come back. The Unlimited Super Stocks. Stay with us. You're going to like this. Welcome back to Rock Valley, Iowa, and the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Series. Getting it started with the Unlimited Super Stock class. And that will bring up Marcus Wedelson. Now, Marcus is a very strong competitor in the NTPA, challenging the Outlaws today.
Well, the man lives in Postville, Iowa. We're in Iowa. He loves pulling his home state, but this is a top gunner. Tire speed, the alcohol engine of this unlimited class really shines. Crowd is way happy. He ought to be 340 feet, .91.
And that'll bring up Bryce Terry out of Missouri. He drives high strung. Well, Dave, in this class, we will see a lot of different brands and color.
Oh, yeah, the different brands, just like this D21. Now, Bryce Terry is a AGCO dealer. AGCO's orange. Of course, the Case IH is red, John Deere green. So much color in this class. I like that pull. Now, he didn't go as far as Wedelson. He goes 330.07. But, Claude, take a look head on. This tractor goes straight. He's been fighting that as he wants this tractor to go straight. But, Claude, look inside that front grill. Those turbochargers are sucking some serious air.
And let's go down to Rick Carlson.
I feel like we laid down a pretty good number there. The tractor, for the first time, and I don't know how many passes, decided to go straight. Didn't have to get on the brakes, and it felt awesome. I don't know if it'll hold up. The track may get better, but we're pleased right now.
Well, John Hoffman hopes that his tractor will be the last one standing. Well, time will tell.
Well, it has been a many a time. What I like about this class, I mean, we started with a farmer. We went to an AGCO dealer. Now we're going to an auto body shop repairman. And he knows how to make an alcohol tractor go hard. Hard enough to take the lead by 2 feet, 342.24.
Well, we mentioned the different colors. Here comes green. This is Brandon Whip out of Frankfort, South Dakota, with his John Deere called Deere Fever.
It's a father and son team. Brandon the son doing the driving today. I'll take a look at that right hand and that right foot, pumping that brake, holding it straight in the track. Does a good job as he takes the lead at 341.80. And you know, Claude, this is this man's second time on the show today because at the opening, he's the guy that throws his gloves.
On the replay, can we tell, is the track pulling him over, forcing him to do all that braking action?
I don't think it's the track so much as these guys got such a tire speed that just a little amount of loose dirt will make a difference on where the tires want you to go.
You didn't need those front tires till the very end anyway with them dangling all the way down.
Oh, no, we try to stand her up. It hooks in a lot better that way. And I don't know, it's more fun that way, too. So.
Well, the crowd likes it.
Well, that's what we're here for, to please them. They got a big one tonight. Good show for them.
Well, when you think of John Deere, you always think of green, but hey, wait a minute. This one is black. Well, I guess Scott Holtgrew had a black can of paint.
That's a sharp-looking tractor, and that black goes with the name Voodoo. Oh, I love this overhead shot. He drove it over to that left side. He knew where he wanted to go, 315.97. He should have stayed over in the other part of the world because he's 15 feet back.
Here is Ryan Frericks driving Addiction. The mark he has to beat, 342 feet.
Well, you talk about all the different color and brands in this class. Here comes a New Holland. Love this class with all the different brands. Oh, up and down, wheel walking a little bit. That's costing this man some serious distance. He knows it. When that front end went up and down as many times as it did, he knew he was going to wind up short. 268.43.
As we look at the replay, Dave, what made him go up so much? Did he miss the balance?
Probably weight distribution with air pressure. The tires get a hold and they turn loose. When they turn loose, the tires come down. Let's go down and see what this man has to say about his ride.
Ryan, how smooth a ride was that?
Not very smooth.
What happened?
Well, we've been fighting some troubles and we're just trying to make it run, so just poor driving.
On the leaderboard, many colors and brands well represented. 2 Case IH, 1 Deere, and 1 Atco Orange. When we come back, we'll have more Unlimited Super Stocks. And when we come back, Frank Boha Boy will see what he can do to put his green John Deere on top.
The Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Series is being brought to you by Precision Turbo, the world's foremost manufacturer of high-performance aftermarket turbochargers. Sapp Brothers, welcome, be our guest. Graham Tire, your tire store next door. And by Dustless Blasting, it's the future of surface preparation.
Always a fantastic crowd on hand for the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Series. We're in Rock Valley, Iowa today. In the middle of the Unlimited Superstock class, this is Frank Boha Boy with a new tractor for this season.
Out of Howells, Nebraska, farmer by trade, picked up a new tractor, which has actually been working really good for him because notice the front end up in there and it's going straight. His old tractor, he fought it all the time. Even though he goes 314 and 64, he's going to be really happy with that pull.
And here's always a tough competitor. This is Colin Weens, part of a family of pulling. This tractor is called Adrenaline.
Good-looking John Deere, and as you said, family, it's a father, son, and daughter team. Daughter will be up in a little bit, brother against daughter. Dad's on the sideline. Oh, rock and roll, sitting back in there like a Sunday drive. Look at the dirt up on that kickboard right there. He goes 326 and 42, puts him in the number 5 spot.
Well, Colin threw down that 326 number, daring his sister, Taylor, to beat it. She's driving Deer Factor.
You better not dare this girl, because she will get right in your back pocket and show you she's as good as anybody. Using that brake just a little bit, letting it drift, not fighting the tractor. Really nice. And hey, Bubba, take this, 336 and 66. I now set in number 4 spot.
Well, like you said, take this. Beat her brother by about 10 feet. What a run. Went up a little high right there, though.
Some of these guys like the front end that high, really load the tires. I don't like getting those wheelie bars that close to the ground, but let's go down and see what Taylor Weens thinks about it. Rick Carlson checks it out.
You keep a camera on there. Why?
We use this so that we can use all the data from our tractor and kind of maneuver it with the run for the next hook.
Okay, so it's just taking pictures not of down track, but a lot of the gauges to see what happens.
Yep, that just helps us so that if we did do something wrong, we can figure out where it came from, and that way we can fix it next time.
Well, let's round out the colors and the brand names in the class a little more. Driving an International, that's that bright red. He calls it red ink, and this is Glenn Freese.
Glenn Freese. Now, you see his camera's up on top of his roll cage, getting a look at the track to see how he fought it. All right hand forward. Motor's working. Don't know. Something popped on the side. You see those side shields bubble out there. He goes 316 and 95, but something happened.
About halfway down, Dave, I thought maybe the track got a hold of him and pulled him to the left.
And that traction over on the left side put a load on that motor. You see that side shield bubble? Something took place underneath there. Our tech crew coming in. Oh, wow. That'll send you whiskers.
Glenn, a lot of fireworks, but you missed the 4th of July with it.
Yeah, I got pretty lucky. I popped off the back cap on the exhaust manifold. So I don't think there's any major damage, but it sure looked good.
Now, what does that mean? Is it something real easy to fix?
Yeah, I think right now, the way it looks, it is. I'll have to get the manifold off and re-weld it in the morning.
Well, families have always been a big part of the sport of tractor pulling. Here's a father-son team. This is the dad, Scott Whitworth, and they're out of Unionville, Missouri.
Leopold Optic. Boys know how to treat their sponsors. Whoa. Did you notice how he was stomping that right-hand brake? I was watching his foot, and about that time that tractor got out of control. Goes out of bounds, that'll be a disqualification. Watch this thing take a hard left. Starts off pretty good, but then the tractor wants to drift to the left, and you can see that right foot stomp that brake. By then, he was out of bounds.
Our next puller is son Colton. Oh, Dave, what's going on in the background?
Hey, Hooker Bob wants that tractor over because you got to be square and straight with the sled when you take off on a run like this.
Well, this is Colton Whitworth driving AgriLogic Green. Whoa.
Oh, that right rear wheel coming off the ground. Once again, we're hammering that brake, trying to keep it in the track. This track is working on these boys pretty hard.
Well, whatever they planned to move him over did not work. Did they not move him over far enough?
No, they actually done a great job. He was square as sled, but you see it doing a little dog walking right there, and then that right tire, the left tire bit, the right tire come off the ground and throwed him way out of line.
That will bring up Chris Mintz out of Cortland, Nebraska. He drives Whole Shot.
Well, the Case IH, the MX255, beautiful weight. Now we're getting a little high. Now we're getting a little walk in the rear tires. Settled it back down, drifted over to that left. He got out of what Whitworth got into, but he's still too far left as he gets a distance of 278.33.
Looking at final results, John Hoffman, third puller of the day, took the lead and held on. Last one standing, we asked earlier today, would he be the last one? He certainly was.
John, the numbers held up. That worked well for you.
That was a little bit of luck, and with all the help I've had at home from friends, we are getting it in where we want it to be.
A lot of exciting action today from Rock Valley, Iowa. Dave, I don't see how I can get closer than this class was.
Well, it's going to with 170 hooks for the weekend. It's going to be real close.
Now for Dave Bennett and Rick Carlson, Claude Wood, so long. See you next week.